Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Berny AM126M homage to a Submariner. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Cadison C1030, and Greg was wearing my Armatron BJ3407 Griffey. I asked Grogu if they played any pranks on Master Skywalker at the Jedi Academy for April Fool's Day. He said that the students had Lando Calrissian put on a Darth Vader costume and tell Luke that he never died and that he had cremated a clone. Luke said, "Nice try, Lando. I can feel your lack of force a parsec away." Lando took off his helmet and said, "At least I never made out with my sister." Ben Solo said, "Ooh, that's my mom you're talking about." Then he started force choking Lando. It was hilarious. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this box. It says, "Berny, witness your legend." I guess that's for people who are legends in their own mind. And it comes on this pillow. Take it off the pillow. And of course it comes with the instructions and hang tag and the extra links that I took out. Pretty basic box, but there's nothing wrong with it. Who needs a fancy box? And there it is, the Berny homage to a Submariner Hulk. This is the second Berny I have on my channel. When I reviewed their Swiss Railway watch, I was very pleased with it, so wondered what else they made. I saw this sub homage for around $70, which seemed like a pretty good price for an NH35 powered sub. I went ahead and chose the green Hulk style since the only blue was a two-tone, and I prefer green to the basic black of the other colorway. At $70, the watch does not disappoint. It's a very nice looking sub homage. The sub is one of the most popular watches in the world, as watch enthusiasts just love dive watches. They're the muscle cars of the watch world, even though most of us wear them do not actually dive, and those who do dive use dive computers. There's just this natural thought that watches and water don't mix, and there is just something fascinating about a watch that would not only go in the water, but also withstand the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. The watch is 40.3 millimeters at the bezel, 47.8 millimeters lug to lug, but 54 if you measure the protruding end links. It is 13 millimeters thick if you don't measure the cyclops, has a 20 millimeter lug width. It weighs 140 grams with 2 links removed. The ceramic bezel is a 90-click unidirectional with no loom other than the loom pip. The bezel has good action with solid clicks and just the right amount of resistance. However, there is a little bit of back play, and there's a little bit of wobble. When you can press on the bezel, you can make it go back and forth. The dial has a sunburst effect. We have the Berny name printed on top in all caps and no logo. I don't think Berny has a logo. I looked at a bunch of their watches online and I don't see one. Everything just has the word Berny on it. On the bottom it says super luminous, and we will test the loom later. Then it says diver and gives it the 200 meters and 656 feet of water resistance. It doesn't use 666 like the bull of a devil diver. It also leaves off the apostrophe on S on diver. Adding the apostrophe S would imply ISO 6425 certification, and this most certainly is not certified. There have been a few of these Chinese brands that use apostrophe S, which they shouldn't do unless it is certified. Then it says automatic 24 joules, which is the joule count of an NH35. Nowhere is the word NH35 mentioned on the watch, just 24 joules, but the ad says NH35. The applied loom indices are nice and large with a triangle at the 12, batons at the 6 and 9, with dots everywhere else. We have the typical loom hands of a sub homage with the Mercedes hour hand and pencil minute hand and a lollipop second hand. We have an unframed date window with a serious cyclops. Look at that magnification there. I've never seen a date window magnified as much as this before on one of these cheap AliExpress watches. It must be the full 2.5 magnification of a real sub. The crown is unsigned. Berny has no logo, so I don't know what they would sign it with other than maybe the letter B. There is a nice pop when unscrewing, and the threads catch quickly when you screw it back down. The crown guards don't so much guard the crown as they do prop it up, so it is a little bit easier to use, but they're not really guards. I mean, maybe just a little bit. The crystal is sapphire, and I tested it to verify that it is indeed sapphire. I also tested the cyclops, which is also sapphire. There is no mention of AR coating on the AliExpress ad, but you can see through it just nice, so it must have something. The case is a solid stainless steel. It has polished sides, and it's brushed everywhere else. The screw-down case back has the Berny name and the model number, and then it says solid stainless steel. Then it says sapphire 20 ATM, which is 20 atmospheres, which is 200 meters. And then it says automatic 24 joules. Once again, 24 joules is the joule count of an NH35, and the ad says it has an NH35. But I was a little skeptical, so I decided to go ahead and open up the case because due to the NH35 shortage, most NH35 watches are more expensive than $70 now. But here, look at that. That's a genuine NH35 inside the watch, so they did not lie. The NH35 is the go-to workhorse movement for these affordable dive watches. It is a 3 Hz movement that hand winds and hacks with a bidirectional rotor. They are usually very accurate off of the shelf, but do not have the consistency of a higher end movement as position does matter. Let's take a look at this on the time graph. Here's the watch on the time grapher. As you can see, we got some pretty good numbers there. -3 seconds right now, which is really accurate. So once again, though, an NH35 really depends on the position. So let's go ahead and move it a couple and see if that changes anything. Huh, that made it better. Now it's running spot on. Wow, good job. I never know if these Chinese companies actually regulate their watches before they ship them off or not. I kind of doubt that. That just shows you how good the NH35 is. So we'll move it in one more time. Wow, really good. Yeah, this very accurate watch right now. The oyster style bracelet is solid steel with solid end links and push pin adjusters, not screw links. The bracelet is fully brushed with no polished center links. The bracelet is not fully articulating where the center links are. They're firmly attached to the side links. And the unsigned oyster style clasp does not have any glide lock or easy link system, and it has 4 slots of micro adjust. The clasp is you have to do a lot of effort to unclasp it or undo it, open it. And as you can see there, no glide lock, no easy link, and you do have 4 positions of micro adjust. But once again, these oyster style clasps, it's a real pain to use the micro adjust because you have to get a tool in there, where a typical clasp, you could just take a paper clip or something to adjust it. And once again, it snaps really tight. Quite a snap, and has a safety lock. It's not as tight, though, as an Invicta friction clasp. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. Looks real nice, wears real nice. Comfortable, not too heavy at 154 grams, just about the right weight. Looks like a sub, smells like a sub. Here we are in the lume room. When a watch says it is super luminous on the dial, then it better have some pretty damn good lume. And it does on the dial. As we speed up the time, we can see that the lume is doing quite well, except you can tell that the hand lume isn't quite as good as the index lume, and it should always be the opposite. Hands should be better than the indices, but it's still really good. However, look at the lume pip. Nothing super about that loom pip. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the ceramic bezel. It looks really nice. I like the fact that it has an NH35 movement. I like the sapphire crystal because you can see through it just nice. Some sapphire crystals on really cheap watches have really bad reflection issues. And look at that cyclops. I really like the cyclops. I mean, some people don't like cyclops, but if you're going to have a cyclops, have a cyclops. And this one is a serious cyclops. Look at that magnification. And it has great dial loom. And the price, 70 bucks, it's a bargain. One of my gripes and groans has some bezel back play. And it's a 90 click bezel, not a 60 or 120. And the loom pip just is not on par with the rest of the loom. And the Rolex style clasp, there's no glide lock or easy link, so there's really nothing redeeming about this clasp other than it looks like a Rolex clasp. Do I recommend this watch? Ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, and NH35 movement for around $70. How could I not? This watch is a great bargain and will scratch that itch for a sub-style watch. Highly recommended. I'm really glad I got this watch. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Berny AM126M, and I will be back with another unboxing. I got 2 watches from AliExpress the other day, so I'm excited about that. Always love unboxing videos. Bye.